Welcome back, Slinkinator. Question: what do all of these tricks have in common? The answer is that I'm only gripping one end of the Slinky at a time. The other end is free to fly through the air like the hair I wish I had. When we're only gripping one end of the Slinky, we're able to bounce the other end off of any relatively horizontal surface. That's why this move is called the bounce. The bounce is a variation on the energy beam. It's an energy beam where you only grip one end instead of two. With enough practice, it can be bounced with great distance and accuracy. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to do a basic bounce. That is, a bounce off of a surface that's very close to you. For now, put your Slinky down and just watch me. Keep your eyes on my bottom hand. What did my bottom hand do? That's right, it did exactly what I do for 3 hours after eating at a buffet. Absolutely nothing. It didn't grip, push, or throw the Slinky. It stayed right where it was. This is called our platform hand. The top hand is called our grip hand because it grips the Slinky. The grip hand does all the work. We use the grip hand to pull the Slinky in whatever direction we want it to go. For this exercise, I want you to find some flat surface that you can bounce the Slinky off of, like this table. This will be our target. If you're stranded in the wilderness and there's no tables lying around, just kneel on the ground and use that as your target. Position yourself so that your platform hand is no further than about 1 foot or 30 centimeters above your target. This is important because we want to make sure that the Slinky can fully impact the target and bounce back, like this. If our Slinky only grazes the target, it's going to be harder to get it to come back to our platform hand. Start by sticking your left hand out in front of you with your fingers flat. Place the Slinky in your left hand. Do not grip the Slinky. The fingers of your left hand should still be flat. This is our platform hand. Remember, what's the platform hand's job? That's right. Like a Buddhist monk working overtime, its job is to do absolutely nothing. Try not to move the platform hand at all. With your right hand, grip the top 2 or 3 coils of your Slinky. This is our grip hand. The grip hand is going to stay glued to the Slinky for this entire exercise. Now, follow along with me. Very slowly, let's unfold the top of the Slinky like we're opening a book, so that both of our hands have our palms facing up like this. Bring your right hand below your left hand. Now go ahead and take a look at your hands. The Slinky should be in your right hand. Your left hand should be empty and alone, like me at every party I went to in college. If the Slinky is in your left hand, you messed up. But that's okay. Mixing up your hands here is a very common mistake. Let's try again. Reset the Slinky into your left hand. Make sure your left hand has your fingers flat. The left hand does not grip the Slinky. Only the right hand grips the Slinky. Go ahead and do that same motion we just did, but this time try to do it in one smooth motion, like this. Great. Let's try that once more, but a little bit faster. This time, I want you to pay attention to what the Slinky does after it lands on the table. Did you see that? The Slinky wanted to bounce back. Now, in order to bring it back to our hand, all we have to do is give it a little bit of help at the exact moment that it wants to come back. We're going to wait until we feel the Slinky tug on our grip hand, and then we're going to pull it in a big upside down U shape with our palm facing up the whole time. Up and then down in one smooth, swift motion, like this. Put your Slinky down for a moment and let's practice that hand motion first. Your right hand is over here, gripping an imaginary Slinky. Your left hand is over here, waiting to catch the imaginary Slinky. When you feel the imaginary Slinky tug on your right hand, pull your right hand in a big upside down U shape toward your left hand. Great job! You caught the imaginary Slinky. Here's an imaginary gold star. To review, there are two motions that we do with our grip hand in order to bounce the Slinky off of our target and bring it back to our platform hand. There's the initial pull downward towards the target and the upside down U pull to bring it back. In between those two movements, there's a pause while we wait for the wave of tension to bounce off the target and come back to our grip hand. Just like with the energy beam, it's important to wait until we feel the Slinky tug on our hand before we do the upside down U pull. Let's practice this initial pull downward a couple times with our eyes closed so we can focus on feeling the Slinky want to come back. Go ahead and place the Slinky in your left hand. Grip the top with your right hand and close your eyes. No peeking. Now, when you do the pull downward, just feel. Don't do the upside down U pull back up. Did you feel the Slinky tug on your hand? Awesome. Let's do that one more time. Place the Slinky in your left hand, grip the top with your right hand, and bring your right hand down. All right, did you feel the Slinky tug on your hand? Now you should have some idea of how long to wait before the Slinky's gonna tug on your hand so you can do the upside down U pull. Now let's put it all together. The initial pull downward, the wait, and the pull back up. When we pull up, what shape is it in? That's right, an upside down U shape. And what do we do with our palm? We keep our palm facing up the entire time. Place the Slinky in your left hand, grip the top with your right hand, pull down, wait, pull back up, and try to catch it with your left hand. Let's do that one more time. Let's review. First, place the Slinky in your left hand. Which hand grips the Slinky? The right hand only. The left hand's job is to stay exactly where it is. This is our platform hand. With your right hand, grip the top 2 or 3 coils of the Slinky. Now, we're going to pull downward with our right hand so that our palm lands facing up and our right hand is below our left hand and also a little bit away from our left hand. So our right hand is now on the right side of our body. From there, we're going to wait. We're going to wait until we feel the wave of tension bounce off the table and we feel the Slinky tug on our right hand. Once we feel that, we're going to pull in a upside down U shape with the right hand with our palm facing up the whole time so that the end of the Slinky comes back to our left hand. This is what it looks like all together. Now, I'm gonna be real with you. You're probably going to have to practice this at least 100 times before you start to catch it in your left hand on a regular basis. So let's get practicing. By far, the most common mistake beginners make when learning the bounce is not pulling up with enough force when doing their upside down U pull. So for the next 5 minutes, I want you to practice your bounce while focusing on pulling up and then down in an upside down U shape with as much force as you can in order to bring the Slinky back to your hand. Feel free to put on whatever music will put you in the zone and get started. Begin! Excellent work, Slinkinator. You just put in a solid 5 minutes of focused practice. Short, timed practice sessions like this, where you focus on a single thing, are what will improve your skills as quickly as possible. Another common mistake beginners make is to either push the Slinky up with the platform hand or to let it drop away too early. Doing either of these will create a secondary tension wave that will interfere with the motion we're trying to create. Remember, which hand does all the work? The grip hand does. And what is the platform hand's job? To stay right where it is. Now, those of you with a keen eye may have noticed that I sometimes break this rule and push the Slinky upward as it leaves my platform hand. While this is true, it only accounts for maybe 5% of the force involved in the bounce. My grip hand does 95% of the work. We'll go over how to do this in the next lesson, but for now, try to move only your grip hand. For the next 5-minute practice session, I want you to focus on one thing and one thing only. Make sure your platform hand does not move. Begin! Welcome back, Slinkinator. You've now put in 10 minutes of focused practice on the bounce, and maybe you've managed to catch it in your platform hand a couple of times. Maybe you're wondering what you do once you catch the Slinky in your platform hand. Maybe you're wondering how much longer I'm going to make you practice this. Maybe you're wondering why the word fridge has a D in it, but the word refrigerator doesn't. Anyway, once you start to get the hang of catching the Slinky in your platform hand, you have several options. You can go straight into another bounce. You can go straight into an energy beam. Or you can collapse the Slinky. Collapsing the Slinky is how you end a series of tricks gracefully. In order to collapse the Slinky, I simply need to let the Slinky pull my hand. After you do the upside down U pull, don't move your grip hand until you feel the Slinky start to pull it. Once you feel it, allow the tension of the Slinky to quickly pull your right hand toward your left hand. In order to do this, your whole arm must be loose and relaxed, yet ready to make a quick movement. Remember, think of a kung fu master waiting to strike. Now I'm going to teach you an exercise that you can use to practice collapsing the Slinky. Start with the Slinky resting in your left hand, but this time grip both ends of the Slinky like you're about to do an energy beam. Try to only move one hand at a time. We're going to quickly pull to the right with our right hand, and then when we feel the tension of the Slinky on our left hand, bring our left hand to our right hand. It looks like this. Then we're going to do it in the other direction. We're going to quickly pull to the left with our left hand, then wait until we feel the tension of the Slinky on our right hand, then quickly bring our right hand to meet our left hand, like this. Then you're going to repeat the process over and over and over. Go ahead and try this for just 3 minutes. Focus on only moving one hand at a time and letting the Slinky pull your hand. Begin! Okay, now you should have some idea of what collapsing the Slinky feels like. Now, I want you to practice your bounce, but each time you manage to catch it in your left hand, collapse the Slinky. Then do another bounce and repeat the process. When you do the collapse, remember to let the Slinky pull your grip hand. Wait until you feel the Slinky pull on it before you bring your hands together. Practice this for the next 5 minutes. Begin! Wonderful work, Slinkinator. You've now put in a whopping 15 minutes of focused practice on your bounce. You're like a baby who's gone from pooping its pants and not knowing which way is up to winning Olympic gold medals in a single day. I have just one more exercise for you to practice, and then you're done with this lesson. Do a bounce like before, except this time, when you manage to catch the Slinky in your left hand, don't actually catch it. Keep the fingers flat on your left hand and go straight into another bounce. Done correctly, it looks like this. See how many consecutive bounces you can do. Remember this number and you'll be able to track your progress as you beat your personal record again and again. Practice this for the next 5 minutes. You can start now, go on. Congratulations, Slinkinator! You've now put in 20 minutes of focused practice on the bounce, and you're that much closer to being a Slinky master. You know how to do the basic energy beam, the basic bounce, and how to collapse the Slinky, even if you're not perfect at them yet. Remember to always wear your Slinky on your wrist if possible, and play with it whenever your hands are free. Anytime your hands are free is an opportunity to be practicing and improving. I'll see you in the next lesson. Until then, slink on!